This is Valley News Live at noon.
Today is definitely a change from the weekend we had. Many saw heavy rain, winds, and even a tornado. Well, let's check in with Summer Snowbuck to see what to expect at the beginning of the work week. Hey, Summer.
Hey, Brian. It's nice to see some sunshine so far for our Monday, but many people picked up some significant rain over the weekend, starting Friday night and continuing through the day yesterday. Tower City and Enderlin, some reports of 5 inches of rainfall. Fingal 4.81, 4.5 in Buffalo, a little over that in Valley City. Verona picking up 4.46, 4.37 in Hampton. Cavaliers 3.79 inches. Sturham 3.68 and 3.58 in Waken. So lots of heavy rain reported. Here's a picture of where radar estimates the heaviest rain, where you see these bullseyes in pink, ranging anywhere from 4.4 inches to 6.3 and 5.6 just to the south of Foston. Today in Fargo, though, we're staying dry. Lots of sunshine back in our forecast. Temperatures in the mid-60s. The camera's shaking a little bit. It's going to be a little bit breezy throughout our afternoon. Grand Forks temperatures warming into the 60s as well, with plentiful sunshine. We do have a first alert weather day, though, on the horizon yet again, Brian, for wind and even more rain. I'll detail that out coming for you in just a few minutes.
We'll make sure to stay tuned in to see what to expect.
Yes.
Thanks, Summer. Well, we're now learning the name of the woman who was killed in a weekend shootout at a bar in St. Paul. Police say 27-year-old Marquisha Wiley was killed when gunfire broke out at the 7th Street Truck Park bar. 14 other people, including the 3 suspects, were wounded but are expected to survive. Reporter Jennifer Merrily has the story.
Forensic teams spent the day outside the truck park where gunfire erupted early Sunday morning. We're told they collected casings from the many shots fired, documented where the bullet struck walls and objects, and gathered evidence like clothing and dusted for fingerprints. Investigators obtained surveillance video from cameras in the area. An expansive and complicated scene that required multiple St. Paul police homicide investigators.
It's a horrifying, tragic event.
Ramsey County Sheriff Bob Fletcher also at the scene Sunday afternoon. The motive for the shooting still unclear.
It appears to be anger, hostility, argument, and fight and gun.
Quite the gathering here at the truck park.
Friday night, Fletcher stopped in the area during his Live on Patrol segment on Facebook. The dash cam captured large groups of people in the area, and he expressed his concern.
We've never had any shots fired right here. I hope we never do, but
yeah, definitely.
With this volume, at some point, it's going to happen, right? It's become a very popular place.
Police said this is an open and active investigation, so it's possible more people were involved and could be arrested. The Ramsey County Attorney's Office says if they get the case from police today, charges could come as soon as this afternoon. Well, Minnesota officials have blocked importation and movement of deer into and within the state to slow the spread of chronic wasting disease. The disease comes after a positive game farm Wisconsin shipped nearly 400 deer to farms in 7 states. Minnesota farms received a total of 5 deer from the infected farm. Merrick says it has asked the FDA to authorize emergency use of its experimental antiviral pill to treat COVID-19 in adults. The drug maker's request came after its phase 3 clinical trial data showed the medication reduced the chances that patients newly diagnosed with COVID would be hospitalized by about 50%. The drug works by inhibiting the replication of the virus inside the body. If approved by U.S. regulators, it would be the first pill to treat COVID-19 and could be available to Americans by late this year. A Minnesota children's doctor is asking for parents to get the child vaccinated as COVID cases continue to rise. Nationally, COVID-19 cases are back 20% over the last 14 days, but Minnesota cases are increasing by more than 30%. The state is reporting 3,000 cases per week with children under 12. Minnesota schools are seeing a soar with cases by reporting just 514 in just one day. Experts say a vaccine for children under 12 could be available in just a matter of weeks. Meanwhile, hundreds of thousands of members of the U.S. military remain unvaccinated as the Pentagon's vaccine mandate deadlines approach. According to data published in the Washington Post, vaccine compliance in the active duty Navy is an impressive 90%. But for the Marine Corps, it is just 72%, though both services share the same November 28th deadline. The lowest overall rates of vaccinations are in the Army Reserve and Army National Guard. They are both around 40%, which is just half the rate of regular Army's active duty troops at 81%. Travel troubles continue for Southwest Airlines as flight delays create a domino effect at airports across the country. Southwest Airlines canceled more than 1,800 flights over the weekend, blaming disruptions on air traffic control issues and bad weather in Florida. The cancellation stranded flight crews and disrupted travel plans for thousands of customers. The airline's president said he hoped operations will be more normal today. If you're driving in West Fargo today, there may be some traffic congestions and crews work to make road repairs after a water main break. The southbound lane of 3rd Street East between 1st and 2nd Avenue East will be closed. Weather permitting, it could reopen on Wednesday. And starting tomorrow, 40th Street North in Fargo will be closed between 12th and 15th Avenue North. The closure will allow for underground utility work to take place and is expected to last up to 2 weeks. And leaf collection will begin this week in Grand Forks. Crews are planning to make at least 2 complete passes through town, but that depends on the weather. Residents can pile leaves next to the curb, away from trees and mailboxes. Streets and gutters must be clear of debris so it doesn't plug storm drains. If you want to haul your leaves to one of the yard waste drop sites in town, you can do so through mid-November. Americans know today as Columbus Day, but did you also know it is being celebrated as Indigenous People Day? Fargo Public Schools has taken the day to explain what this day means to their students. Now, there are over 1,000 Native American students from 30 tribes within the Fargo and West Fargo school districts. The school district is going to educate the public today with Native American studies, including traditional flute music, government regulations on Indigenous people, and much more. Over 100 teachers have been trained to teach Native American content in schools, and it's important to have all students feel appreciated.
In an urban setting with our Native American students, and our program really strives to create opportunities for our Native American kids here. So we provide role models, we provide, some cultural teachings for them.
The full list of events can be found at valleynewslive.com. Well, coming up at noon, Facebook is taking control by adding tools to help teenagers feel more at ease when they're feeling stressed. But first, what should we expect as we start this work week? Summer Snowbach has the answer to that question next.